I'm in a 2000 Accord with a V6 in it. See, we got the check engine light flashing. It is indeed misfiring right now. The owner said he changed spark plugs on it, but it did not fix the problem, so he brought it over for me to figure it out. First thing I want to do is let's see if this thing has a clear flood mode. Alright. And it does not have a clear flood mode, so let's see if we can disable fuel injectors or something like that. Alright, so I pulled the fuse right out of there, right at the bottom. Looking at this diagram or legend, it says 15 amp for the fuel pump. So let's go ahead and crank the key now and have a listen at the engine. Alright, so it sounds good. I'm not hearing a loss of compression on one cylinder or something like that. So here's the codes, and I thought it was a single cylinder, but apparently it's not. 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, so I got some data pulled up here for the upstream and downstream oxygen sensor, and as you can see with my foot on the accelerator pedal, I'm probably holding it at about 1500 RPM, and the upstream sensor is responding, and it looks like it's doing its thing. Now if I get off of the accelerator pedal, you're going to see that the O2 sensor does not look too happy. But I think the reason for that is the O2 sensor acting like this is a side effect of the misfires. Like, I don't think a bad O2 sensor is causing all of these misfires, although it can. See how you can see it's switching very slowly. But if we get on the accelerator pedal back up to 1500, you're going to see it switch back and forth, what looks to be pretty normal to me. See that? So I don't think we have an issue with the oxygen sensor. It's almost something that's almost affecting all cylinders except for one, is what it seems like. I think cylinder 2 is the only one that was reporting that there isn't any misfires on it. So since we kind of have something that's affecting almost all of the cylinders, I want to go ahead and check the condition of the fuel pump. So I just got my my fuse jumper here. I don't know what to call it, I forget. But I got my current clamp on it, and as you can see, I don't see anything that jumps out at me, and no dead spots or anything like that on the fuel pump. So for right now, the pump is looking okay. Now this doesn't necessarily mean we have good fuel pressure. It just means the life of the pump looks like it's okay, if that makes any sense. The pump doesn't look to be damaged or something like that. So we could kind of put, let's put the fuel at the back of our mind for right now. Also, I don't think it's gonna be just straight up injectors, because what are the chances of having 5 fuel injectors go bad all at the same time? You know what I mean? Alright, so the next thing I decided to do was pull out the spark plugs. In my experience, whenever a customer tells you that they did something, you should probably check what they did, because they might have done something wrong. So I pulled out the very first spark plug. The first thing I noticed, it was very loose, okay? Go to pull out the second spark plug, and it was even more loose, to the point where it was a joke, okay? So the third one, I'm gonna go ahead and check it. Nope, should not have dropped out like that, but alright. Okay, so I have not touched this one yet. Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, that kind of burned me. I thought I would be able to take it out with my hand. The second one was so loose that I guarantee you, had I just tried to turn the extension with my fingers, I would have taken it out. So look at this. Let's see. Look at that. No effort at all. Super loose. The one in the center was really loose, so that one's the worst. So now, because of this, now I have to check all the spark plugs. I pulled out all of the ignition coils back here. Let's put the socket in here. Let's see. This is the first time touching this spark plug. Okay, I can't loosen it with my hand. It doesn't mean it's not completely tightened. I just want to see how loose they are. So let's go into the next cylinder. Nope, can't turn that one. Let's try the last one. Yeah, the worst one was the center in the front. Okay, so I can't remove any of them with my hand. So that's a good sign. Yeah, these three are pretty loose. That one was the worst of them all. But let's go ahead and pull out the back plugs. And yes, they all look like brand new plugs. I don't see any damage to the ground strap or the electrode or anything like that. I don't see any cracks in the porcelain. The gaps all look to be consistent. The only thing I found here is the plugs are way too loose, but I don't think that was the cause of the misfire. So I'm gonna go ahead, put them back in, and make sure they all get torqued down, and then we'll continue our investigation. Alright, so everything is put back together. The engine is running, as you can hear, and it has not changed. We still have misfires. The next step is to do a cylinder drop test, and I'm going to do that simply by just unplugging each coil one at a time and see how the engine responds to it. Yep, there's a difference there. Yep. Yep. No difference. I'm unplugging. I think this is number 3. Yeah, no difference at all. So let's check the rest of them. Oh yeah. Check the last one. Okay, yep. Alright, so the only one that's not contributing is cylinder number 3. I don't know why we wouldn't just have a misfire for cylinder 3. Instead, it's got a misfire for almost every single cylinder at some point. But yeah, it's definitely this one back here. So the next easy step to do would be to switch 2 coils around. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch 1 and 3. Not 1 and 3, 2 and 3, I believe it is. And let's see if it follows the coil. If it is, then we're pretty much done here. It just needs an ignition coil. Alright, so I did clear the check engine light after I put all the spark plugs back in it. As you can see, it's flashing right now. But when we check codes, there aren't any. I guess it hasn't flagged any codes yet. See, nothing. But if we go to intermittent DTCs, we do have something here. All we have is a misfire in any cylinder, which isn't very helpful. But we already determined which cylinder is not contributing. So like I said, let's go ahead and swap those 2 coils around and see if it follows the coil. Okay, so I swapped the 2 coils around, and let's do another cylinder drop test. This is number 3, the one that was misfiring before. And yes, now it does make a difference. So on cylinder number 2, now we're not going to have a difference. And sure enough, nothing. So it just needs an ignition coil. So I'm gonna go ahead and call the owner and tell him to drop off an ignition coil. Now sure, I know I could get a ton of comments on this video saying, oh, a cylinder drop test is the first thing I would have done. I could have found a problem within 5 minutes. Sure you can, but where's the fun in that, right? When he called me this morning saying he has a misfire and he needs me to look at it because he already threw plugs at it and he didn't fix it, should have seen the smile on my face. I was like, sweet, gonna have some fun. It turned out to be something simple, but nonetheless, it's still fun. At least to me it is. I enjoy trying to find these problems. So I guess I'll do an update once I get the ignition coil. Alright, so I can't really record. Owner's here to pick up their car, but we got a value crap part put on. But it did fix the problem. It's running nice and smooth now. No misfires, at least for now. So that's all I have time to show you guys. Like I said, the owner's here to pick up the car, so closing it out for this video. And yeah, a simple coil. Thanks for watching.